Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you all as we begin the celebration of excellence of Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects. From natural to cultural landscapes, our work touches lives in ways that are often felt before they are noticed. This year's theme, A National Vision for Sustainable and Regenerative Landscapes, invites us to look beyond design as objects and think of landscapes as processes, ones that restore, reconnects, and evolves with time. It reminds us that our profession is not only about shaping land, but about nurturing relationships between people, nature, and places. As we ceremonially open the Leela Celebrations of Excellence, we do so with a shared sense of purpose to celebrate good work, meaningful ideas, and the collective effort of a community committed to caring for Sri Lanka's landscapes today and for generations to come. Welcome, and thank you for being a part of this journey. It is with great respect that we welcome our chief guest, Honorable 𝐸 𝐸 the Deputy Minister of Urban Development, guest of honor, Engineer S.P.C. 𝐍𝐚𝐿𝐴, the Additional Secretary to the President and the Secretary of Clean Sri Lanka Project, Chairmen and Director Generals of national authorities and institutions from the government, industry, academia, and the elite professions. From within our own fraternity, we extend a very warm welcome to the office bearers of Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects, Landscape Architect Champa Liyanage, the President, Landscape Architect Sujani Pilapitiya, the elected President, Landscape Architect Hester Basnayaka, the inaugural past President and Honorary Secretary, past Presidents of SLEELA, and also Landscape Architect Chaturanga Silva, the Secretary, Landscape Architect 𝐽𝐚 𝐸, the Honorary Treasurer, the Council Mayors, Council Members, and also a very warm welcome to the corporate members, associate members, and the student members of SLEELA. And as our dignitaries join, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tradition in Sri Lanka to begin every event of significance with the lighting of the traditional oil lamp. It is a ritual that represents new beginnings, and the light is meant to dispel darkness. And to do the honors, we'd now like to invite our chief guest, Honorable 𝐸 𝐸, Deputy Minister of Urban Development, guest of honor, Engineer 𝐸 the Additional Secretary to the President and Secretary of Clean Sri Lanka Project, the office bearers of Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects, Landscape Architect Champa Liyanage, the President of SLEELA, Landscape Architect Sujani Pilapitiya, the President-elect of SLEELA, Landscape Architect Hester Basnayaka, inaugural past President and Honorary Secretary, Landscape Architect Chaturanga Silva, the Honorary Secretary of SLEELA, Landscape Architect 𝐽𝐚 𝐸, the Honorary Treasurer. We'd also like to be joined by a fellow member, a member of SLEELA, an associate member, and a student member. Thank you, and please do remain standing for the national anthem of Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka Mata, Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Sundara Siri Barini, Surandi Ati Sogamana Lanka. Ranya Dhanaya Nekamal Palaturu Piri Jaya Bhumiya Ranya. Apahata Sapa Siri Seta Sadhana, Jeevanaye Mata. Pilidanu Mena Apabhakti Puja, Namo Namo Mata. Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Obave Apavidya, Obamaya Apasatya, Obave Apashanti, Apahada Kulabhanti, Oba Apa Aloke, Apage Anuprani, Oba Apa Jeevanave, Apa Muktiya Obave, Nava Jeevana Demini, Nitina Apa Kubudu Karan Mata. Jnana Veera Vadavamina Ragena Yanu Mena Jaya Mumikara. Ekamavakage Daru Kalabavina, Yamu Yamu Vinopama. Prema Vada Samaveda Durarara, Namo Namo Mata. Upper Sri Lanka, Namo Namo, Namo Namo Mata.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects would like to pause and remember two individuals who has dedicated their lives and left a lasting mark on their profession and on this institute. We remember Emeritus Professor Nimal de Silva, Honorary Fellow Member of SLILA, an inspiring scholar, a mentor, and an advocate whose guidance shaped generations and designers and also of critical thinkers. We also remember landscape architect K.A.D. Chandradasa, past president of SLILA, who served the institute with deep commitment and played a significant role in advancing landscape architecture in Sri Lanka. And also we extend our heartfelt condolences to their families, friends, colleagues, and we offer our sincere gratitude for their enduring contributions to the SLILA and to the discipline we share. May I kindly invite you all to rise and observe 1 minute of silence in their honor. Thank you. And moving on to formally address the gathering, may I invite President of Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architecture, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome landscape architect Champa Liyanage with a good round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Minister 𝐼𝐻 𝐺𝐚𝐥, the Secretaries of Ministries, Chairman and Director General of Government Authorities, President and Secretaries of Professional Institutions, distinguished invitees, inaugural President and past President, Landscape Architect Mrs. Hester Basnayaka, past Presidents, Landscape Architect Professor Mrs. Shereen Namendra, Landscape Architect Mrs. Radha Mohini, Landscape Architect 𝐷 President-elect of 𝐶𝐿A, Landscape Architect Mrs. Sujani Pilapitiya, Honorary Secretary, Landscape Architect Ms. Chaturanga Silva, Honorary Treasurer, Landscape Architect 𝐽𝐚𝐢𝐢𝐲, Office Bearers and Council Members, Corporate and Non-Corporate Members of 𝐶𝐿A, representatives of our sponsors, media unit, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to have you all here today for the Celebration of Excellence 𝐶𝐿A 2025. I respectfully welcome Honorable 𝐼𝐻 𝐺𝐚𝐥, Deputy Minister of Urban Development, who is joining us today. Your presence makes this event even more special. It is indeed a great honor to welcome Engineer SPC Sugir Sir, the Additional Secretary to the President and Secretary Clean Sri Lanka Project, and the Secretaries of Ministries, Chairman and Directors General of Government Authorities, Presidents and Secretaries of Professional Institutions, distinguished invitees, the 𝐶𝐿A inaugural President and past Presidents, Office Bearers and Council Members, corporate and non-corporate members of 𝐶𝐿A, and representatives of our sponsors and media unit, I extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. This event was originally planned for 29th November 2025. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule it to the 7th February 2026 due to the extreme weather condition that prevailed in the country at that time. So we all experienced the adverse impact of these climate conditions. Nowadays, climate change and disaster risk reduction have become major focus areas. Landscape architects are competent professionals who play a significant role in mitigating such disaster situations through effective design solutions. The main focus today's event, the Celebration of Excellence 𝐶𝐿A 2025 marks the very first award ceremony of 𝐶𝐿A, celebrating outstanding achievements of landscape architects and recognizing exemplary projects of our members and contribute to sustainable, resilient, and regenerative landscape across Sri Lanka. 𝐶𝐿A is still a small professional institute with around 110 corporate members, yet it has taken great strides in its professional journey. Although the current membership is limited, approximately 25 corporate members are added each year. There is also a consistent flow of around 50 landscape architecture graduates entering the construction industry annually from the 4-year honors degree in Bachelor of Landscape Architecture BLA Honours offered by the University of Moratuwa, Sri Lanka. After graduation, these graduates join 𝐶𝐴 as associate members, which is a non-corporate member category. These associate members then become eligible to follow the charter program of 𝐶𝐴, and successful candidates may elevate their membership from associate, that is non-corporate member category, to member, which is the corporate member category. With the growth of its membership, 𝐶𝐴 has formulated strategic plan for next 10 years, addressing major issues related to landscape architecture while aligning with the Incorporated Act number 33 of 2009 and the need of tomorrow. That this will be presented in our video presentation. 𝐶𝐴 is an active member among the 14 member countries of the International Federation of Landscape Architects, IFLA, Asia Pacific region, and is also a member organization of the Organization of Professional Associations, OPA, of Sri Lanka. Our members hold key positions in IFLA APR landscape architect Priyanka Ranatunga, our immediate past president and country representative of 𝐶𝐴, served as the chairperson of the Communication and External Relations Committee of IFLA APR. In addition, our members, landscape architect Chaturanga Silva and landscape architect 𝐽𝐚𝐢𝐢𝐤𝐢𝐈, represented 𝐶𝐴 on the jury panel of the IFLA APR Awards. Thus, 𝐶𝐴 closely associates with IFLA as an active member of the IFLA Asia Pacific region. As quoted from the IFLA website, the profession landscape architects plan, design and manage natural and built environments, applying aesthetic and scientific principles to address ecological sustainability, quality and health of landscapes, collective memory, heritage and culture, and traditional justice. IFLA further mentioned that landscape architects deal with interactions between natural and cultural ecosystems, including adaptation and mitigation related to climate change, ecosystem stability, socio-economic improvement, and community health and welfare to create places that promote social and economic well-being. Thus, it is evident that landscape architecture is a meaningful and rewarding career that can diversify into many areas such as carbon-sensitive environment design, ecological restoration, cultural and agricultural landscapes, and archaeological restoration. It supports the regeneration of land, communities, and resources. 𝐶𝐴 understands the importance of quality education and proper professional practice in advancing the profession. In line with this, and in accordance with the provisions of the Incorporated Act number 33 of 2009, 𝐶𝐴 has taken steps to accredit landscape architecture education programs conducted by educational institutions in the country. Parallel to this accreditation process, we have identified the competencies of landscape architecture and prepared syllabi for charter programs that align with current professional demands. According to our observations, a considerable number of vacancies exist in the government sector. The establishment of landscape architecture as a recognized service is timely requirement, enabling competent landscape architects to engage in government service. This will allow our members to contribute meaningfully and infrastructure development and lead towards a sustainable built environment. 𝐶𝐴 believes that the relevant ministry will support us in this endeavor. The efficient and effective engagement of competent landscape architects in the development process will help create disaster resilient and livable environment for all living beings. Thank you for your patience. And finally, let me take this opportunity to extend to you my warm greetings and best wishes for the year 2026. Thank you.
Obstacles are something natural in every journey of a professional body. So I hope our president is all right. And let's move along with today's proceedings. Thank you very much, madam. And now let me bring you a video presentation that brings a vision towards the landscapes of Sri Lanka, a national vision for sustainable and regenerative landscapes.
Sri Lanka, a land where mountains touch the clouds and rivers carve ancient paths through lush forests, a place where nature breathes freely, alive with color, movement, and timeless beauty. For centuries, our ancestors lived as part of this natural world, cultivating with care, harvesting with gratitude, and shaping the land with gentle, respectful hand. Then came the colonial era, bringing new structures, new orders, and a landscape transformed by foreign ambitions. As time moved forward, cities rose, roads stretched, and industries expanded. Human ambition reshaped the land, creating a fast-growing modern Sri Lanka, vibrant, dynamic, and ever-changing. But progress carries a cost. Forests shrink, waters warm, and the effects of climate change become impossible to ignore. Our landscapes strain under the weight of our own actions. Across the world, new ideas emerge, designs that heal, systems that protect, and landscapes that reconnect people with nature. Landscape architecture becomes a bridge toward resilience and restoration. And here in Sri Lanka, these solutions take shape. Wetlands revived, parks renewed, and public spaces reimagined, creating places where people and nature can thrive together once again.
I hope that everybody enjoyed the video. So now we move on to an important milestone for this institute, the presentation of the strategic proposal of the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects, which highlights the future direction and national vision of our profession. May I respectfully invite landscape architect Chaturanga Silva and landscape architect Chathuri Gunaratne to present the strategic proposal.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A national vision for sustainable and regenerative landscapes. So when we hear the word landscape, many of us think it is about gardens, and some might think it is about plants, and some think it is simply what we see outside a building. And when we hear landscape architecture, it is often misunderstood as architecture or engineering, sometimes civil engineering, or even horticulture. So this confusion exists because in Sri Lanka, still landscape architecture is an emerging profession, and its potential to serve the national cause of development is yet hidden. So today we are here to share a very clear message that landscape architecture, it is not about decoration, but it is about how we shape the environment and how we design the system and the human life together. And more importantly, it is about how Sri Lanka can plan the future even more resiliently and more productively and more wisely. Okay, so before we explain what it means by landscape architecture, let me briefly introduce who we are. The Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects, SLILA, is a national statutory body incorporated by Act number 33 of 2009. So since its establishment, SLILA has worked to strengthen the professional standards and contribute to national planning discussions. Yeah, so while landscape architecture is still an emerging profession in Sri Lanka, it globally already established as a co-planning and infrastructure discipline. And SLILA is an active member of the International Federation of Landscape Architects, IFLA, Asia Pacific region, contributing to public realm design and landscape governance discourse across the world. So, but today, it is not about this international recognition. So, today we are going to talk about national relevance. Yes, so what is landscape architecture? So, it is something sits between art and also between art and science. So, landscape architecture, it brings together the environment systems and cultural understanding and spatial design, which means simply the place making. So, in simple terms, landscape architects design outdoor environment for people while protecting, restoring, and working with the natural system. So, our role is to ensure human activity and environmental system support each other rather than making a competition. Yes, so landscape architecture works with two inseparable systems, which is the natural system and the human system. So, as we know, natural system, it consists of land, water, vegetation, and climate. And when it comes to the human system, it consists of living, learning, and movement, and restoration of all those people. So, we design for people by understanding the entire natural process and how the system works. So, that is how we can make sure that it performs well over the long run. So, this performance is not aesthetic alone, it is about the functional, healthy, and resilient and sustainable system. Yes, so this is about the designing value, the triple impact of landscape architecture. Yes, so what is really this triple impact of landscape architecture? Yes, so it is a reconnected system through an interconnected system of social, ecological, and economical system. So these three impacts do not work in isolation. So we consider it as an interconnected functional system. Yes, so let's move forward. So if we consider the social value, it is about improving physical and mental health and strengthening the social cohesion and creating inclusive public spaces for people. When it comes to the ecological value, it is simply about the environment. So we consider the climate resilience and disaster mitigation by mitigating floods, reducing heat, and conserving soil, restoring ecosystems, and responding to climate risks. And finally, when it comes to the economical value, it can be obtained by several options like increasing tourism revenue, by uplifting property value and investment confidence, supporting local livelihoods, and reducing long-term infrastructure costs. Yes, so that explains the interconnected design value system when we consider the landscape architecture as a functional system. Yes, so when it comes to this value in landscape architecture, it does not appear all at once. So there is a scale from micro scale to the macro scale. So we start from our home where we live, right? So it is the tiniest scale in the landscape architecture. That is where we can start our journey to start with these regenerative environments. So if we begin with the home, the spaces where we live, so it is, when it comes to a design space, it functions as a system. So from our homes, when we step out to our streets and the cities, so the everyday public spaces, and that shapes the safety and comfort and the movement of the spaces. We then move into our workplaces and universities and institutions, so landscapes that influence productivity, learning, and well-being of people when we move out of the cities. Then we consider the national landscapes, the cities altogether, the regional wise, we consider it as the national landscapes. So that is where we need all those strategies to be applied within the national development plans, within all the planning institutions. So that is where we need these strategic plan approaches. Okay, so to describe how those micro scale to macro scale projects the behavioral patterns of those places, I invite Chaturanga to take over. Over to you.
Of course, thank you. So let's begin from the most intimate space of landscape. It's our home. We all know about our home. So the home, even within the compact residential landscapes, landscape architecture works as a whole system. When coming to the residential small scale houses, we begin at the most intimate thing. So it's like spaces and planting define uses and improve obviously the comfort and support microclimatic and rainwater absorption. So these small interventions quietly enhance everyday life. It means our life, while reducing environmental impact. Then coming to the next level, the institutional, universities, office landscapes, into that. From homes, we move towards that. Here, landscape supports focus, well-being, and of course, interaction. We have several landscape spaces. We can explain it in each one by one, but here, presenting that planting, material, and movement, the spaces where we integrate. And then the urban structure from universities or the commercial, and then come into the urban structure. In spaces, landscape respond directly to landscape form and context. Seating spaces, play areas, gathering areas, integrated and terrains, creating inclusive and flexible public environment. And then we move to the waterfronts and urban regenerations. Those waterfronts, landscape mediates between city and water. Terraced landscapes, and it manages flooding, soften built edges, and create human-scale public spaces. Obviously, human with the nature, and support the urban vitality. Riverine and ecological restorations. Those are moving further. Landscape architecture restore natural systems. Riverbanks and shapes improvement of flood protection and water quality, and of course, ecological health. Wetland landscapes. Wetland focusing it as a living environment. We consider it a living environment. So they retain and filter storm water, and while also serving as public landscapes and integrate into everyday urban life. Green infrastructure and utilities. Landscape become infrastructures. Here we are talking about the infrastructures and with the landscape. So bioswales, preamble surfaces, and green corridors manage runoff and reduce heat, obviously. We have to talk about it. And support ecological connectivity also. Rooftop and productive landscapes. At the building scale, the rooftop landscapes regulate climate and absorb rainwater. They also contribute to productivity, energy efficiency, and long-term property value. Ecotourism and resort landscapes. In tourism settings, the landscape becomes the primary experience. So the local material, planting, and landform express ecological identity while supporting economic activity. Cultural heritage and archaeological landscapes. At heritage sites, landscape architecture works with restraint. Minimal intervention protects cultural value while helping interpreting history for present and future generations. Memorial landscape. Memorial landscapes use land, water, and movement to express memory and collective meaning. So here, landscape becomes a space of reflection and healing. So here we already talked about the design and how it works. Now we move into the actual situation. It means the project exists and the conceptuals. The work of landscape architects. So there are several works that we can experience in here. The first project was the, this was done by the landscape architect Pasan Fernando under the authority of the Urban Development Authority. Okay, and then move to the next one. The project designed by the landscape architect 𝐽𝐚𝐿 and move to the next one. It's projects. This is a kind of experimental project by the landscape architect Mahesh P. Dahanayaka. And then conceptual project. It's with eco-cultural resilience. With the next one. Okay. Yeah. So now we know how the landscape architecture works, and then these are the practical situations. So now we move into the how this framework into the national level and the strategic level.
So here we consider why a national landscape framework is needed. So at present, Sri Lanka has national physical and sectoral plans, but what is missing is a landscape-based framework that understands land as a sensitive living system. So currently, there is no national mechanism that consistently interprets land as a living system, understands landscape capacity and the sensitiveness of it, and guides development consistently across scales. So as a result, development decisions are often fragmented even when the intentions are good during a plan. So this is where we think landscape architecture adds a strategic layer, not by restricting growth, but by guiding it intelligently. So this proposal sets out a a 10-year strategic pathway towards the SLILA to lead the establishment of National Landscape Master Plan as a new initiation. So, in this strategic intent, the first step is evidence that begins with National Landscape Character Assessment. I will discuss that. So, at the core of this proposal, here is the vision and the mission. So, it is clear a national vision. We envision a resilient, livable and productive Sri Lanka, shaped through informed landscape stewardship where development and environmental systems work in balance, but not in conflict. So, our mission is equally focused. Yeah, so in simple terms, this is about making better decisions by understanding and analyzing what is existing first. Yeah, so to realize this vision, we have identified a set of clear long-term objectives. So these are the objectives. So these are the objectives to realize the vision. So to move from vision to action, we have proposed these strategic pillars, 5 pillars. Okay, I am not going to discuss all of the pillars, but if we consider the first one, knowledge and evidence creation, so that is entirely about this landscape character assessment, and we believe that is the foundation of this landscape framework. Moving on. So this is the first one, the knowledge and evidence creation. So there landscape character assessment begin with the systematic data collection and analysis, landform, ecology, water system, settlement patterns and cultural layers, all of those layers. And when it comes to the second pillar, strategic spatial framework development. So by analyzing all those sensitive data and all those layers, then we choose where those things should be applied. So after analyzing, we decide. Fortunately, we are blessed with variations of landscape being a small island, but there are several variations from the coastal side when it comes to the upper islands, highlands. So there are several variations we experience in the landscape. So we can find where these sensitive things that we found from the strategic sensitive analysis, so we can find out where those things should be applied. So when it comes to the third pillar, the policy integration through the sensitive approach, so based on this understanding, landscape knowledge is translated into policy guidance. So this allows ministries and planners and agencies to make informed decisions. So I am not going to describe the fourth and fifth one in detail. So it is about professional capacity and collaboration and awareness, giving awareness to the general public. Yeah, so together these strategic pillars ensure that landscape planning in Sri Lanka is evidence-based and context-sensitive and aligned with national development objectives. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so this is the implementation that we have proposed. So moving on.
Yeah. It's the way forward now. We call to collective action. So SLILA stands ready to contribute knowledge, capacity, and of course partnership to help champion this approach at a national level. So to champion people. People mean design places that support health, dignity, and everyday life. So we already shape the land. The question is whether we do intentionally a landscape-led approach. It allows Sri Lanka to grow with clarity, resilience, and purpose. So let us play not for just only for the today, but for the landscape that will carry our nation forward. And that is the duty of the landscape architect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, landscape architect Chaturanga Silva and landscape architect Chatturi Gunaratne for that great presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day full of new beginnings. We are delighted to announce the official launch of Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects' inaugural journal, Contours. This publication reflects the passion, commitment, and hard work of our institute to share knowledge and promote sustainable and regenerative landscapes throughout Sri Lanka. Now, to officially launch the journal, I would like to invite President of SLILA, Landscape Architect Champa Liyanage, to ceremonially present the journal to our chief guest and to the guest of honor. And also, I would like to invite Mr. Mahesh B. Dahanayaka to join with the presenting of the magazine. A publication of a magazine is not a mere publication when it comes to a professional body. It becomes an advocate for, to articulate on disciplinary identity and become a collective voice. Thus, it continues to bridge the knowledge, wisdom, and the practice of landscape architecture in Sri Lanka. Thank you, President, and thank you to our distinguished guests for joining with this moment. And now, we are moving towards one of the most celebrated moments of our day. We now turn one of the most anticipated segments, moving towards the SLILA Landscape Awards 2025. Celebrate design excellence, creativity, and innovation across conceptual and built work. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on the announcement of the SLILA Landscape Awards 2025, it is important to take a moment to acknowledge the dedicated members of our jury panel.
These distinguished professionals have generously contributed their time, expertise, and invaluable insights to carefully evaluate all submissions across various categories. Their commitment ensures that the awards truly reflect excellence, creativity, and innovation in landscape architecture.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each jury member for their service to the profession and their support in upholding the standards of SLILA. It is now a pleasure to present the jury panel for the SLILA Landscape Awards 2025. Introducing Landscape Architect Champa Liyanage, President of SLILA.
A chartered landscape architect and a chartered quantity surveyor, and a fellow of both the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects and the Institute of Quantity Surveyors Sri Lanka. With over 30 years of professional experience, she has led numerous landmark projects across the country and currently serves as Director of CLAG Consultancy and CLAG Moods. Her work focuses on creating sustainable landscapes that balance the built environment with nature.
Introducing Landscape Architect Priyanka Ranatunga, immediate past President of SLILA.
He represented Sri Lanka internationally through his role as an individual member and a country delegate of the International Federation of Landscape Architects, contributing to the advancement of the profession at global level, and the Asia-Pacific region of IFLA, qualifying for an holding and position of Chair of the Communication and External Relations Committee, while actively contributing to the development and promotion of landscape architecture across several countries.
Introducing Landscape Architect Sujani Pilapitiya, President-elect of SLILA.
From the inception of the Institute, has held various positions in the Council, including Council members, Assistant Secretary, Vice President, and currently the President-elect. Further has contributed to the profession through designs of many large and mega-scale developments in the country and as a visiting lecturer in University of Moratuwa since 2011. For the master's degree program and the undergraduate program, and represent the profession in many forms.
Introducing landscape architect 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐢 𝐠𝐚𝐥.
Also a chartered landscape architect with over 15 years of professional experience in the field. She's a fellow member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects and a visiting lecturer of the Faculty of Architecture, University of Moratuwa, where she also guides many students as a design tutor.
Introducing architect Niluka Lakmali.
The head of the Department of Architecture and senior lecturer at Kothalawala Defence University, a chartered architect with a master's in urban design from SPA New Delhi and PhD in urban planning from Tianjin University. Her work focuses on gender-responsive designs, safer public spaces, and pedestrian-centric urban development.
And introducing other members of the jury, architect Manoj De Cruz, architect Ranavatta, architect Daminda Prasad, architect PHC Moses, architect Samantha Hevege. Thank you once again to our esteemed jury members for your remarkable contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move towards the highlight of today's celebration, the Srila Landscape Awards 2025. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Engineer SPC Sugiswara, Additional Secretary to the President, Secretary of Clean Sri Lanka Project, to present the awards alongside our distinguished guest. I would like to invite Landscape Architect Sujani Pilapitiya, President-elect of Srila, to join us on the stage. Declaring the shortlisted projects, all categories.
And the awardees are MGIM Tilakaratna,
WWA MST Vimalasuriya. Landscape Architect Chamara Vijay-Singha. Certificate of Commendation, Conceptual Student Category.
and the awardees are KSI Vijay-Singha and S. Thayalini.
Certificate of Design Distinction, Conceptual Student Category.
And the award goes to Ravindu Sandeepa.
Certificate of Merit, Built Landscape Project Category.
And the awardees are landscape architect Nalaka Krishantha and landscape architect Chamara Vijayasinghe, landscape architect Champa Liyanage, landscape architect Chamara Vijayasinghe.
Landscape architect Chamara Liyanage. And Certificate of Design Distinction, Conceptual, Corporate category. And the award goes to Landscape Architect Pasan Fernando. Thank you. Thank you very much, Engineer SPC Sugiswara, and to the landscape architect Sujani Pilapitiya for joining us with the presenting of the awards. And now we have come to another significant moment where we honor a significant milestone in the professional journey of one of our own. Today, we recognize the achiever of SLILA's Charter Examination 2024 through the traditional garlanding ceremony, a gesture that symbolizes dedication, perseverance, and professional excellence. With great respect, may I invite past President, Landscape Architect Hester Basnayaka, and to accompany her, I also invite Landscape Architect Pemil Jayawardena, Chair of the Board of Landscape Architectural Education, to accompany her onto the stage. To initiate the garlanding of the newly appointed corporated members, the Institute also extends the congratulations to the members who have been elevated to the corporate membership as new members of the Institute. Members in present. Manatunga Devage, Ashani Nuangika Veerasinghe. Adhikari Mudyanselage, Ishanka Upamali Adhikari. Mudyanselage Gedara, Chintaka Madhushanka Ekanayaka. Tarindu Danushka Manavadu. හේරත් මුදියන්සේලාගේ සනත් කුමාරසිංහ හේරත්. කෝරළේ ගමරාල්ලාගේ නිපුණ දිල්ෂාන් වර්ණසූරිය. මලිති කාවින්ද්‍යා රණතුංග. ලිහිණිකාවඩු ආරච්චිගේ ලක්ෂිකා සාරංගනී. නීවටුවගේ තිලින දිල්ෂාන් මදුවන්ත. ඉලේපෙරුම ආරච්චිගේ ඩොන් මාධවී මදුෂානී. පිටිවිල ලියනගේ මදුෂාන් කාවින්ද්‍යා. නිම්ෂාන් ප්‍රනාම රාජපක්ෂ. මානිකරත්නම් සුභාහිතන්. चार्ल्स क्रिस्टियन गणेतिरन जॉर्ज तुषायतन. कोडिकार पटबंदिगे नवोदा कितमिनी विजयतुंग. ज्योतिमुनि दसुन तारक इसुरिंद डिसिल्वा. वितरमलगे रामोदा विदुमिनी ज्ञानरत्न. हल्के मुदियंसेलागे नदीशा संदमिनी बंडार. विजलत आरच्चिलागे समित मालिंद समरनायक. इसुरु मनहार दिसानायक. And members in absentia, Dulani Nadisha Dimel.
Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we take this moment to acknowledge with sincere appreciation the valuable contribution of our sponsors, whose support has strengthened the advancement of the Institute and made today's celebration possible. Associate sponsors, 𝐨𝐧 Publishers and Bailey's Colombo, Fedora Resort Apartment and LTL Holdings, and contributing sponsors Prime Group Kottawa, Leyland Sports Goods Manufacturers. We will now allocate time to feature the sponsor contribution video.
නිවුණු හැදුණු පිරුණු සොඳුරු මිනිසුන් පිරි පින්බර දේශයක් තනන්නට සිප්සයිරි ප්‍රකාශකයෝ මහනුවර නිවුණු හැදුණු
For
පිරුණු
over 40 years, LTL Holdings Limited has powered Sri Lanka with cutting-edge engineering. As the country's premier engineering enterprise, we excel in manufacturing transformers and electrical switchgears, conducting heavy engineering operations such as fabrication and galvanizing, and pioneering power generation, delivering excellence and innovation across the nation. State-of-the-art facilities and expert team make us the benchmark for engineering brilliance in South Asia. From concept to completion, we're transforming the power sector with precision and passion. LTL Holdings Limited, local engineering at its global
අඩුබඩු කොලිටි නෑ.
කොලිටි බඩු අඩු නෑ. අඩු එකයි වැඩි එකයි ගත්තොත් බජට් එක බැලන්ස්.
ඇයි මේ වැඩිපුර හිතන්නේ? දැක්කා ගත්තා.
දැක්ක ගත්තා.
මේ කීල්ස් නිෂ්පාදන. හොඳම තත්ත්වයෙන් අඩුම මිලට නිෂ්පාදන රැසක්. ඉතින් කීල්ස් එකෙන් කාඩ් එකට දැක්කා ගත්තා.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to proceed to honor outstanding contributions by our members for the year 2024. May I kindly invite Planner Indu Veerasuri, Past President, Landscape Architect Dr. Hetty Arachchi, Landscape Architect Radha Silva, to the stage for the presenting of the awards. Landscape Architect Sherin Amendra Award for the most outstanding student of the BLA degree program, University of Moratuwa. This award celebrates academic excellence, design leadership, and a demonstrated commitment to the discipline of landscape architecture. Named in the honor of landscape architect Sherin Amendra, a pioneer and dedicated advocate for landscape architectural education, this recognition is presented to the most outstanding student of the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture degree program at the University of Moratuwa. The Landscape Architect Sherin Amendra Award to the most outstanding student of the BLA degree program, University of Moratuwa.
And the award goes to Ishani Tennakon.
Ladies and gentlemen, put a big round of applause to the awardees. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we would like to announce the Slila Honorary Awards 2024. These honors recognize individuals that have made notable voluntary contributions to the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects. Each award celebrates commitment, collaboration, and dedicated service that they have extended towards strengthening the Institute's initiatives, advancing its programs, and supporting its community. The Joining Force Award, Student Member category. This honor acknowledges a student member who has shown exceptional initiative, collaboration, and service to the Institute, and the award recognizes these individuals as those who have actively contributed to the strengthening of the Slila community through voluntary engagement and teamwork. The award goes to the student member Pahan Tikshana. Joining Force Award, Associate Member category. This award recognizes an associate member who has demonstrated a meaningful participation, professional commitment, and consistent contribution to SLILA activities. It highlights those who go beyond routine and involves to support the Institute's growth and outreach.
And the award goes to Associate Member Tilina Dilshan.
Ladies and gentlemen, put a big round of applause to the awardees. Recognition Award to the Most Outstanding Committee Chair. This award is conferred upon a committee chair who has provided exemplary leadership, driven progress within their committee, and delivered significant outcomes for the Institute. It acknowledges dedication, reliability, and exceptional stewardship.
So the award goes to Media Publicity and Awareness Committee Chair, Landscape Architect, Mahesh Dahanayaka.
Collaborator Award, offered to the Corporate Member category. This recognition is presented to a corporate member for their valued support, sustained collaboration, and active engagement with SLILA initiatives. It honors organizations that meaningfully contribute to advancing the Institute's mission and strengthening its professional community.
And the award goes to Corporate Member Landscape Architect 𝐼𝐨𝐧 and Corporate Member Landscape Architect Rasul Vanigasekara.
And ladies and gentlemen, the most celebrated award, SLILA Excellence Award, Gold Medal in SLILA Charter Program 2024. The SLILA Excellence Award represents the highest academic and professional achievement in the Chartered Landscape Architect Program. The Gold Medal is presented to the candidates who has achieved exceptional performance across the program, demonstrating mastery of professional competencies. The SLILA Excellence Award, Gold Medal in the SLILA Charter Program 2024.
And the award goes to Associate Member K.P. Navodha Kitmini Vijayatunga.
Thank you very much. And now, we would like to move on to the next set of awards. And we now move on to the and we apologize for that mishap, and we would like to invite Professor Naren Pereira to address the gathering. Professor Naren Pereira is the head of the Department of Architecture, Faculty of Architecture of University of Moratuwa, an academic and as well as a most outstanding professionals in the industry. So with a big round of applause, please welcome Professor Naren Pereira to the stage.
I wish everyone here a very good evening. A little bit of a surprise, I must admit. Yeah, okay, so this marks the first time that I'm here as the head of department of the University of Moratuwa, Department of Architecture, under whose umbrella the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture program is housed. It gives me great pleasure to represent that forum, and also it gives me a great pleasure to see most of the students, or maybe all of the students that have gone through our doors. I can see fresh charter members and students that I have also supervised in their dissertations, etc. And I congratulate each and every one of you for your achievement, for your professional achievement especially. I was also very happy to and proud to see that the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects, where they have reached in these years that they have been in cooperation. And also, it gives me also, I'm assured with the new corporate plan and the national vision for sustainable and regenerative landscapes that they presented today, which was very comprehensive and also shows the role that the Institute can play. They have taken on the challenge of responsibility and also mark that they are very much a part of the development of this country, which gives me great assurance that each and every one of our citizens are pulling in the same direction, where we have to ensure that Sri Lanka is a place for everyone and a place that we can be proud of in its initiatives. When we take Sri Lanka and its approach to built environment in general, we can say that regionally our structures of regulations and planning are at an extremely high level, where we are much more in touch of the built environment and the natural environment and the synthesis of those elements. With that, I would like to thank the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architecture for my invitation to this August forum, and only hope that this institute will go from strength to strength, and wish you all the very best in the future. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Professor. And now we move to the conclusive segment of the award ceremony, recognizing the highest distinctions in each category. I would kindly invite Honorable Eranga Gunasekara, Deputy Minister of Urban Development, to present the awards. And also I would like to invite Engineer S.P. Sugishwaran, Additional Secretary to the President, to join with us on presenting of the awards. And also I would like to invite President of SLILA, Landscape Architect Champa Lieneke, and Honorary Secretary of SLILA, Landscape Architect Chaturanga Silva, to accompany the distinguished guests to the stage and to join with the presenting of the awards. SLILA Design Awards 2025. Award for Creative Excellence, Conceptual Student Category. In recognition of exceptional innovation, visionary design, and professional excellence, the award for Creative Design Excellence goes to
Student Member R.S. Madhusanad.
For the project of NARI, Tropical Monsoon Biogenic Coastal Ecosystem Resilience Landscape Project. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Creative Excellence, Conceptual, Corporate Category. In recognition of exceptional innovation, visionary design, and professional excellence, the award for Creative Excellence awarded to.
So the award goes to Landscape Architect Anuradha Bandara.
For the project Colombo City Oasis, More Than a Transportation Hub. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Excellence, Build Projects, Residential Landscapes. In recognition of superior creativity, professional merit, and excellence design quality, the Award for Excellence, Build Project, Residential Landscapes awarded to
Landscape Architect Pabasara Handapangoda.
For the project Serenity Maharagama. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Excellence, Build Projects, Park and Open Spaces. In recognition of superior creativity, professional merit, and excellence design quality, the Award for Excellence, Build Project, Park and Open Spaces awarded to
Landscape Architect Passan Fernando.
For the project of Thurusevana Public Park, Tirapane, Anuradhapura, Public Space and Tourist Transit Hub Development Project. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Excellence, Build Projects, Institutional Landscapes. In recognition of superior creativity, professional merit, and excellence design quality, the Award for Excellence Build Project, Institutional Landscapes, not awarded. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Excellence, Build Projects, Hospitality and Tourism Landscapes. In recognition of superior creativity, professional merit, and excellence design quality, the Award for Excellence, Build Project, Hospitality and Tourism Landscapes, awarded to
Landscape Architect Nalaka Krishantha.
For the project of Landscape of Code Explorer, Serendiva Beach Hotel at Vadua. SLILA Design Awards 2025, Award for Excellence, Build Projects, Agriculture and Productive Landscapes. In recognition of superior creativity, professional merit, and excellence design quality, the Award for Excellence, Build Project, Agriculture and Productive Landscapes, awarded to
Landscape Architect Mahesh Dahanayaka.
For the project of Ahangama Village, reimagining coastal tourism through landscape-led agro-based community development. Thank you very much. And we kindly request to the Honorable Minister to remain on the stage for a moment. And the President of SLILA, Landscape Architect Champa Lienege, and our inaugural President, Landscape Architect Hester Basnayaka, to present an award and present a token of appreciation. And also, I would like to invite Engineer S.P. Sugiswara, Additional Secretary to the President and Secretary of the Clean Sri Lanka project, for this moment to join with. Thank you very much for all those who joined on this celebrative moment. And we would like to move along with the next event of our day, and that we bring a video that brings about the ideation of landscape architecture towards the gathering. Landscape architecture is a professional discipline devoted to the thoughtful planning, design, and stewardship of external environment where land, ecology, and human life coverage. It transforms open space into purposeful place, giving structure, function, and identity to landscape that shape how people live, gather, and belong. At its core, the profession negotiates the delicate relationship between nature and development. Landscape architects engage with terrain, water systems, vegetation, infrastructure, and cultural context to create environments that are not only functional, but enduring and socially meaningful. Their work extends across parks, civic realms, campuses, urban corridors, and regional landscapes, spaces that influence everyday experience and collective memory. It is also a deeply human practice, one that considers emotion, perception, and sensory experience of place. Through careful design and long-term vision, landscape architects shape environments that nurture well-being, inspire connection, and strengthen the bond between place, people, and the living world. Ultimately, landscape architecture is about shaping landscapes that endure, places of purpose, dignity, continuity, that quietly support life, community, and the evolving story of our shared environment. Thank you.
I hope that everybody enjoyed the video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our chief guest, Honorable 𝐸 𝐸 to address the gathering.
අයිබෝවන් වනක්කම් අස්සලාමු මේ අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා සිටින ජනාධිපති අතිරේක ලේකම් සුගීචර මහතාගේ අවසරයි. ඒ වගේම ලෑන්ඩ්ස්කේප් ආකිටෙක්චර් ආයතනයේ සභාපතිතුමිය ඇතුළු ඒ ආයතනයේ ඉන්න සියලු නිලධාරී මණ්ඩලයෙන් අවසරයි. ඒ වගේම අද මෙම ආයතනය හරහා දක්ෂතා පෙන්වන ඒකට සමාජිකත්වයේ දරන ඔබ සියලු දෙනාගේම අවසරයි. ඒ වගේම ලෑන්ඩ්ස්කේප් ආකිටෙක්චර් ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ ප්‍රවීණයන් ලෙස ඉන්න ඔබ සියලු දෙනාගේම අවසරයි. මම පළමු කොට සුබ පතනවා මෙම ආයතනය හරහා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් ඔෆ් ලෑන්ඩ්ස්කේප් ආයතනය හරහා අද වරලක් භාවයට පත්වෙන ඒ වගේම දක්ෂතාවයන් පෙන්වන ඒ සියලු දෙනාට ආණ්ඩුවක් විදියට ඔබට සුබ පතනවා. ඔබේ දක්ෂතාවයන් ඔබේ හැකියාවන් මේ රටට දායක කරන්න මේ ලෝකෙට දායකත්ව කරන්න ඔබට අප සුබ ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ඕනම විශේෂ ක්ෂේත්‍රයක් ඇතුලේ ඔබ දැන් අධ්‍යයනයක් කරලා ඒ පිළිබඳ විශේෂ දැනුම කරුණ තියෙන පිරිසක්. හැබැයි අපි රටක් විදියට ගත්තාම අපි රටක් ඇතුලේ ඕනම ක්ෂේත්‍රයක් ඒ රට ඇතුලේ තියෙන ආර්ථිකෙත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා. ඒක නිසා තමයි පහුගිය කාලේ පුරා අවුරුදු 2ක 3ක වගේ මම හිතන්නේ මෙතන අවුරුදු 20 30 ඉන්න තරුණ තරුණියෝ සැලකිතර ප්‍රමාණයක් බලාපොරොත්තු දල්වාගෙන ඉන්නවා. හැබැයි මීට අවුරුදු 3කට අවුරුදු 2කට පෙර අපේ රට තිබුණේ කොතනද? අපි කාටත් මම හිතන්නේ මේ තරුණ ගොඩක් ඒ වගේම මම දන්නේ නැහැ උන්ගේ දෙමව්පියෝ ඉන්නවද කියලා. අපි තරුණ කාටත් අපිට බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඒක නිසා අපිට අරමුණ බවට පත් වෙලා තිබුණේ මොකක් හරි ඉගෙනගෙන මේ රටෙන් එළියට ගිහිල්ලා අපි මොකක් හරි ජීවිතය ගැට ගහ ගන්නවා කියලා. හැබැයි අද අපිට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා රටක් විදියට ගත්තොත් ඔබ අප එකතු වෙලා අවුරුද්දක කාලයක් ඇතුළත මේ රට පියවරෙන් පියවර ස්ථාවර වෙන්න පටන් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. ආර්ථිකය ස්ථාවර වෙන්න පටන් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා තමයි මීට අවුරුදු 2කට පෙර අපේ රාජ්‍ය බැංකු දෙකම රුපියල් ට්‍රිලියනයක හිඟයක් තිබුණා. අද අවුරුදුකින් පස්සේ ඔබේ රාජ්‍ය බැංකු දෙකම රුපියල් ට්‍රිලියනයක අතිරික්තයක් තියෙන තැනකට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ පත් උනේ කොහොමද? අපි දකින ඔබ මේ විවිධ තාක්ෂණ හරහා දකින ඔබ අඳින දේවල් මතම නෙමෙයි. අපි දන්න තනි පුද්ගල ජයග්‍රහණ තුළ නෙමෙයි. අපිට ඔබට එකතු වෙලා අපිට රටක් විදියට අපේ රටේ මූල්‍ය විනය අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. ඔබ අපේ නිලධාරීන් අද ආදර්ශමත් මූල්‍ය විනය දක්වමින් ඉන්නවා. ඒක නිසා අපට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා රටේ මූල්‍ය විනය විධිමත් කරන්න. ආදායම් වැඩි කරගන්න. සංචිත වැඩි කරගන්න. සංචාරක ක්ෂේත්‍රයන් වැඩි කරගන්න. මේ ජනවාරි මාසයේ අවසන් වෙද්දී අප ලංකාවේ මාසයක් තුළ වැඩිම ආපු සංචාරකයන් ප්‍රමාණය ඔබ අප එකතු වෙලා ලංකාවට ගෙන්න ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා මම මේකේ විශේෂඥභාවයට පත් වෙන ඔබට අපට දැන් බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා. ඒක අප කියන්නේ රට ඇතුළේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ලෝකය පුරා ඔබට යමින් ඔබේ දැනුම අත්පත් කරගනිමින් අපට යන්න පුළුවන් පාරක් අප කාටත් එමින් තියෙනවා කියන බලාපොරොත්තුව මම ඔබට කියන්න කැමතියි පළමුවෙන්. දෙවැනි කාරණාව. අප හිතනවා ඔබ විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔබේ ආයතනයත් ඒ වගේම මේ අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ වුණාට පස්සේ ඔබේ සභාපතිතුමිය ඒ වගේම අනිකුත් ඉන්න පිරිසත් එක්ක චූටි කතා බහ ඇතුලේ අපිට දැනෙන දේ තමයි ඔබ දැක්මක් ලෙස පුළුල්ව කල්පනා කරමින් තියෙනවා. අපත් එසේම හිතමින් ඉන්න කාලයක්. මොකද අපි රටක් විදියට සංවර්ධනය කියලා දකින්නේ බිල්ඩින් ප්‍රමාණයෙන් හරි හැදෙන පාරවල් ගාණෙන් හරි අඩුම තරමේ බඩු මිල අඩු වෙන එකෙන් හරි නැත්නම් රටට කොයිතරම් වාහන ගෙනහලා තියෙනවද කියන එකෙන් විතරක් අපේ රටේ සංවර්ධනය අපි තීරණය කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක වැරදි. ඒක නිසා අපි හිතනවා මේ ක්‍රියාවලිය ඇතුලේ හැමතිස්සෙම අන්තර් සම්බන්ධයක් අපිට තියෙන්න ඕනකම තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒක නිසා අපි හිතනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔබ මේ දක්වන මේ ක්ෂේත්‍රය හරහා අපේ රටේ ආර්ථිකය, සමාජය, ඒ වගේම මානවයාගේ පැවැත්ම වෙනුවෙන් මේ සියල්ලම එකිනෙකට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. හැබැයි මම ඔබට උදාහරණයක් කිව්වොත් ඔබ අද වරලත්භාවයටපත් වෙලා නැත්නම් දක්ෂතාවයන් පෙන්නලා මෙතන අද විවිධ ඩ්‍රොයින් එළියට දාලා අපිට ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් ඉදිරිපත් කරාට ලෝකේ දැනුම පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඒකට දේශපාලනයක් ඕනේ. මොකද මේ දේශපාලනය ඇතුලේ තමයි ඒ දැනුම කොයිතරම් ප්‍රමාණයකින් මානවයා වෙනුවෙන් පාවිච්චි කරනවද කියලා ලෝක ඇතුලේ උදාහරණ තියෙනවා. ඔබ අප කවුරුත් දන්නවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අපිට දැනුම කියන එකේදී මම පොඩි උදාහරණයක් කිව්වොත් ඔබ දන්නවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි දන්න ලෝක යුද්ධයේ නාසි මිලිටරි නායකයෙක් හිටියා හිට්ලර් කියලා. ඕගාව දක්ෂ වෛද්‍යවරු හිටියා. ඕගාව දක්ෂ ඉංජිනේරුවෝ හිටියා. දක්ෂ විද්‍යාඥයෝ හිටියා. ඔවුන් දිවා රෑ මෙහිසලා ඔවුන්ගේ දැනුම පාවිච්චි කරා. කුමකටද පාවිච්චි කරේ? ඒ නායකයාගේ ඒ හිතපු ඒ ජයග්‍රහණයත් මුළු ලෝකෙම යුද උන්මාදයට පත් කර ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් ඔවුන්ගේ දැනුම පාවිච්චි කරා. ඒක නිසා දැන් අපට ඕනකම තියෙන්නේ ඔබ ඒ උපයා ගන්නා දැනුම, ඔබ මහන්සි වෙන දැනුම මේ මානවයා වෙත, මේ රට වෙන ඔබේ ආදරණීය අම්මා තාත්තා වෙනුවෙන් දායක කරන්න. ඒක නිසා අපි හිතනවා එවැනි දේශපාලන තත්ත්වයක්, එවැනි දේශපාලනයක් අපට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා රට ඇතුලේ ස්ථාපනය කරන්න. එහෙම වුණොත් විතරයි අපි හිතන්නේ මේක ඇතුලේ වෙනසක් කරන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ වගේම අප හිතනවා ඔබේ විශේෂ ක්ෂේත්‍රයට මම ආවොත් ලෑන්ඩ්ස්කේප් ආකිටෙක්චර් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි හිතනවා භාවනාවක් කියලා. ඔබ ඉගෙන ගනිමින් උගන්නමින් ඉන්නේ භාවනාවක්. මොකද අපි දන්නවා කොච්චර අපි සංකීර්ණ වුණත් කොච්චර අපේ හිත ඇතුලේ මොනතරම් පීඩනයක් තිබුණත් අපි මුහුදු වෙරළක් ගාවට ගියාට පස්සේ අපිට විහාර මහදේවිගේ පාක් එක ඇතුළට ගියාට පස්සේ පේරාදෙණිය මල්වත් ඇතුළට ගියාට පස්සේ ඔබට අපට දැනෙන හිතට ගතට ඇසට දැනෙන මානසික සුවය කොයිතරම්ද කියලා. ඒක නිසා අප හිතමින් තියෙන්නේ ඔබේ දැනුම එතනට අපි අරගෙන යන්න ඕනි කියලා. ඒක නිසා අපි ලෑස්ති ඔබේ දැනුමත් හැකියාවත් පාවිච්චි කරලා විශේෂයෙන්ම උද්‍යානයක හැදෙන ඒ ජල හඬ අපේ රටේ පොදු මිනිසුන්ට අහන්න දෙන්න. කුරුළු නාදයන් අපි මේ රටේ ඉන්න මිනිසුන්ට අහන්න දෙන්න. උද්‍යානවල පිරලා තියෙන මල් සුවඳ අපි ලෑස්ති අපේ ඉන්න සාමාන්‍ය මිනිසුන්ට විඳින්න දෙන්න. ඒ වගේම ගඳ ගහන කාණු වෙනුවට, ගඳ ගහන ජීවිත වෙනුවට අපි මේ මිනිසුන්ට සුවඳ තියෙන ජීවිතයක් දෙන්න ඔබත් එක්ක අපි සූදානම් වෙන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි හිතනවා අපිට කොයිතරම් මානසික සුව පහසුවක් එනවද මේ කොන්ක්‍රීට් පොළවෙන් මේ කාපට් එකෙන් එළියට ගිහිල්ලා සබත්තු දෙක සෙරප්පු දෙක ගලවලා ඒ තනකොළ තියෙන පිසේ වැලි තියෙන එකේ අපේ කකුල් ස්පර්ශ වෙද්දී ඒ දැනෙන සනීපය අපිට කොයිතරම් මුලකින්වත් ගන්න බෑ. හැබැයි ඒ නිර්මාණකරුවන් කවුද? ඔබ. එය නවීන තත්ත්වයන් ඇතුළේ නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ ඔබ. ඒක නිසා අප හිතනවා ඔබේ කාර්ය වෙන්දටත් වඩා අපිට එතනින් එහාට අවශ්‍ය වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි හිතනවා මෙච්චර කාලයක් ඇතුලේ අපිට ඒ සුව පහසුකම දෙන්න පුළුවන් උනේ ඊටමත් සීමිත පිරිසකට විතරයි. මම දන්නේ ඔබ දන්නවද කියලා. අද අපේ රටේ චූටි දරුවෙක් මාස අවුරුදු 7යි චූටි දරුවෙක් බදාම තට්ටුවක් ඔලුවට වැටලා අද අවසන් කටයුතු යනවා. අපේ රටේ කුණු කන්දට යට වෙලා මිනිස්සු මරන රටක්. තාම බදාම ටික ඔලුවට වැටලා චූටි ළමයි අපේ රටේ මැරෙනවා. අපි නාගරික සංවර්ධනය ඇතුලේ urban development එක ඇතුලේ අපි මිනිස්සුන්ට ගෙනල්ලා දීලා තියෙන එක. හැබැයි ඔබට අපට එකතු වෙමින් තියෙන වගකීමක්. අපිට තියෙනවා මේ මිනිස්සුන්ට සුන්දරත්වය අරගෙන යන්න. ඒ නිසා ලෑන්ඩ්ස්කේප් එක ඕනකම තියෙන්නේ ධනය බලය තියෙන මිනිස්සුන්ට විතරක් නෙමෙයි. ඒ නිසා ඔබ පෙන්නමින් ඉන්නේ පොදු අවකාශයට අපේ රටේ මහජනයා ගේන්න ඕනේ. මම හිතනවා ඔබේ ආදරණීය අම්මා තාත්තා අනුරාධපුර ඒ දක්ෂතාවයන් පෙන්වන ආදරණීය ඔබේ අම්මා තාත්තට මේ පහස දෙන්න ඕනේ. අප හිතනවා අපිට එතනට අරගෙන යෑමේ වෙච්ච ඒ අරමුණ අපිට තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අප හිතනවා අපට ඒ වෙනුවෙන් මෙහෙවන්න වගකීමක් තියෙනවා කියලා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි හිතනවා ඔබ මේ විවර වෙමින් ඉන්නේ එවැනි සමාජ තත්ත්වයක් ඇතුළේ. ඒක නිසා මට සභාපතිතුමියත් කිව්වා, ඒ වගේම අපේ ලේකම්තුමත් කිව්වා අපිත් හිතමින් තියෙනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ රාජ්‍ය ව්‍යුහය ඇතුලේ ඔබේ ස්ථානගත වීම කොතනද කියලා. ඒ ස්ථානගත වීම පිළිබඳ මම හිතන්නේ සංවාදයක් තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා මම යෝජනා කරා සභාපතිතුමියට කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා, ඒක නිසා මේකට දෙන්න කියන පැත්තෙන් නෙමෙයි. මොකද්ද මේ ඔබ හිතන මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකත් එක්ක කොහොමද ඒක ස්ථානගත වෙන්නේ කියන ඒ අදහස අපට දෙන්න කියලා. අපි බලමු, අපි සාකච්ඡා කරමු කොහොමද මේක අපිට මෙතනින් එහාට ඉස්සරහට වර්ධනය කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද අපිට ඕනකම තියෙනවා මේ පොදු ස්ථාන, මේ නගර ලස්සන කරගන්න. අපිට තවත් ඕනේ නෑ කුණු කඳු වලට යට වෙලා මැරෙන මිනිස්සු දකින්න. අපිම හදපු අර මහල් නිවාස වලින් බදාම ගැලවිලා අපේ දරුවෝ මිය යන තැනකට අපි යන්න ඕන කමක් නැහැ. ඒක නිසා අපි සමහර නිර්ණායකයන් හදලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි විවිධ තීන්දුව අරගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒවා පොත්පත්වල විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒක නිසා අපි සමහර සංවර්ධනයන් කරලා තියෙනවා යම් ඉතාක් සීමිත පිරිසකගේ අවශ්‍යතාව වෙනුවෙන්. ඔබේ අම්මාගේ තාත්තගේ දරුවෝ වෙනුවෙන් අද මේ නිර්මාණයේ සංවර්ධනය එතනට ගලා ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ. ඒක නිසා අප හිතනවා ඔබේ භාවනාවෙන් ඔබ ඉගෙන ගනිමින් තියෙන, ඔබ ප්‍රගුණ කරමින් ඉන්න ඒ භාවනාවෙන් අප හිතනවා ඊටමත් අවුරුදු කීපයක් ඇතුළතදී විශේෂම නාගරික සංවර්ධන විෂයපතේ ඇතුළතදී ඔබත් එක්ක ඒ භාවනාව අපේ ආදරණීය අම්මට, තාත්තට, දූ දරුවන්ට, ඒ වගේම ව්‍යාපාරිකයන්ට, මේ රටේ උගත් බුද්ධිමත් පරපුරට ඒ පහස, ඒ දැසේ තියෙන ලස්සන, ඒ කුරුණු නාදයන්, ඒ පරිසරයේ තියෙන දේ අපිට සම්තුෂ්ත කරන්න ඔබත් එක්ක ගමනක් යන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා. ඒක නිසා අද මේ වෙනුවෙන් ඒ දක්ෂකම් පෙන්නපු, ඒ හැකියාවන් පෙන්නන මම ඔබ කාටත් ආරාධනා කරනවා මේ භාවනාව මහජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් අරගෙන යමු. සාප ඔබ ජීවත් වෙන මේ රට ඇතුලේ අපිට අභියෝගාත්මක ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා එක පැත්තකින් අපේ කඳු නා යනවා. එක පැත්තකින් අනවසර ඉදිකිරීම් රාශියක් නලා අපේ මුළු භූමියම විනාශ වෙන්න පටන් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. මේ වෙනුවෙන් අපි සුන්දර බිමක් නිර්මාණය කරන්න දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් ඔබේ තාක්ෂණයේ දැනුම අත්‍යවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අප හිතනවා ඔබේ භාවනාව මේ රටේ සුවහසක් මිනිසුන්ගේ සිත් සතන් පාවිච්චි කර ගැනීම වෙනුවෙන් ඔබ එය පාවිච්චි කරයි. ඔබේ හැකියාවගේ අප එය පුලපුලා බලාගෙන සිටිනවා. එය මේ රට ඔබත් අපත් එකතු වෙලා මේ රටේ ජනතාව දෙන්න. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට සුබ ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් අපද මෙම අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් සභාපතිතුමිය ඇතුළු සියලු දෙනාට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙමින් මට මේ අවස්ථාව ලබා දීම ගැන නැවතත් ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙමින් ඔබේ භාවනාව අප සියලු දෙනා එකතු වෙලා මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ සිත් සනසන්න, හදවත දැස් සියල්ලම සතුටු කරන්න අපි හැමෝම එකට යොදලා වැඩ කරමු කියමින් මම නිහඬ වෙනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි. සුබ දවසක්.
What an valuable speech from our chief guest, Honorable 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐨𝐧 𝐟𝐶𝐫. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious words. And now, to formally conclude today's proceeding, may I invite the Honorable Secretary of 𝐶𝐿A Landscape Architect, Chaturanga Silva, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest, Honorable 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐨𝐧, Deputy Minister of Urban Development, Engineer 𝐿𝑝𝑐 𝐸𝐬𝐻𝑒𝐺, Additional Director to the President and Secretary of Clean Sri Lanka, Directors of Departments and Authorities, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all for being with us today. First, I respectfully thank our chief guest, Honorable 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐨𝐧, Deputy Minister of Urban Development, for honoring us with your presence. Your participation has added dignity and significance to this celebration. I also extend our sincere appreciation Engineer 𝐿𝑝𝑐 𝐸𝐬𝐻𝑒𝐺, Additional Secretary to the President, Secretary of Clean Sri Lanka Projects. Your presence has greatly enriched this event. And I also thank the Director of Departments and the authorities for accepting our invitation and being with us this event. Your participation reflects the growing recognition of landscape architecture in our national development. My appreciation also goes to the presidents and secretaries of the Professional Institute and the department head and the university representatives as well. To our special invitees and guests of honor, thank you for your continued engagement with 𝐶𝐿A and for supporting our invitation and invite and accepting us through also. And again, the lecturers who contribute to the charter examination, thank you for you. And throughout the year, you have also connected with us. Your presence today is truly valued. And also, I extended heartfelt thanks to our esteemed sponsors, 𝐶𝑖𝑝𝑠 Publishers, Bailey's Colombo, Fedora Resort Apartment 𝐼𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐨 by Homelands, LTL Holdings, John Keel's Group, Prime Group, 𝑉𝐢𝐬𝐢𝐨 Kottawa, the Lalan Sports Good Manufacturers Private Limited. Your generous support has strengthened our capacity and made today this event possible. I also wish to thank landscape architect Pasan Fernando, landscape architect Ruanara, and landscape architect Chature Gunaratne to coordinating with our sponsors. My sincere appreciation also goes to the juror panel, especially for their time, professional judgment, and commitment to maintaining the high standard of 𝐶𝐿A. Your role is vital in recognition to the excellence within the profession. To all the award winners, my warm congratulations to you all. Your work reflects creativity, responsibility, and professional excellence. I also acknowledge all participants who continue to their strengthen and continue our landscape projects and your projects also to make this event success. And I would like to respectfully acknowledge our inaugural past president, landscape architect Hester Basnayaka, together with our past presidents, landscape architect Sherry Namendra, landscape architect Shirani Balasuriya, landscape architect Radha De Silva, landscape architect D.H. Tiarachi. And we remember with deep respect late landscape architect K.D. Chandradasa. Your dedication laid the strong foundation upon which 𝐶𝐿A stands today. A special word of appreciation to our immediate past president, landscape architect Priyanka Ranatunga, and also thank our president, landscape architect Champaliyanage, for her leadership, vision, and commitment in guiding the Institute forward. My sincere appreciation also goes to our council members, committee chairs, and volunteers, especially landscape architect Mahesh Dahanayaka, landscape architect Chathuri Gunaratna, landscape architect Kanishka De Silva, landscape architect Rasul Wanigasekara, landscape architect Gayan Naulage, landscape architect Supun Sulochana, landscape architect Shamin Dharmasena, landscape architect Sumudu Wasanta, and also Tilina Dilshan, Madhavi Madhushani, Nimshan Rajapaksha, Isanka Adhikari, and also the one who contribute to us today. So, this is the end of our event. And also, again, my sincere gratitude goes to the media sponsors who attend today with a short notice. Thank you very much. And this is the event that celebrations of excellence, which we celebrate our excellence and we awarded the winners. So thank you very much for being all of us today. And as we come to the conclusion, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to making this event more meaningful and successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam. So now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have come to the end of today's celebration, I would like to thank you for your presence, your support, and your continued dedication to the advancement of landscape architecture profession in Sri Lanka. With this, the celebration of excellence, 𝐶LILA 2025, is officially concluded. You are warmly invited to proceed to the lobby to view the exhibition of selected projects from the 𝐶LILA Design Awards of 𝐶LILA 2025 and to enjoy the refreshments arranged for you. And also a special reminder to all corporate members, please reconvene in the small hall at 4:30 p.m. for the 15th Annual General Meeting of the Sri Lanka Institute of Landscape Architects. Thank you everyone and have a very pleasant evening.